argue this whole situation has nothing to do with politics. It might seem like that on the surface, but it doesn't. This is our country being close to falling like Rome. We've been sold out.
Season with a campaign to nab people who drive with fake or obstructed license plates. CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer says it costs the agencies millions of dollars, and officials are determined to go after drivers who break the law to avoid tolls.
The driver of this black BMW thought he scored a free ride a few days ago when he used a mechanical device to cover his rear license plate when he passed through the cashless entry into the Holland Tunnel. But Port Authority cops had the last laugh. They not only caught him, they discovered he owed $1,320 to the Port Authority and nearly $23,000 to the MTA for unpaid bridge and tunnel tolls. He was arrested and charged with crimes.
Messing with your license plate or removing it is definitely not a road you want to take.
Robin Bramwell, steward of the Port Authority, just one of several New York and New Jersey transit and law enforcement officials announcing a joint crackdown on scofflaws who use fake or obstructed plates to avoid paying tolls.
We will do everything within our power to catch you and hold you accountable.
The Port Authority and MTA are using license plate readers and other high-tech devices to find people trying to ride for free across the bridges and tunnels in the region. The Port Authority has been particularly successful.
In this year alone, the Port Authority Police Department has written more than 4,000 summonses for toll evasion for people who owe a total of more than $1.7 million collectively. Since 2018, more than 51,000 vehicle registrations have been suspended for failure to pay tolls.
What's different about this new effort, which begins at the start of the summer driving season, is that everybody is getting into the act. State police, the NYPD, the city sheriff, as well as the Port Authority and the MTA. MTA head Jano Lieber says, think twice if you have a fake license plate or a device to hide your plate.
If you have anything like that now affixed to your plate, attached to your plate, it would be wise to remove it, because you're going to get stopped by a bridge and tunnel officer or one of our brother and sister agencies. And we will collect on the money that you owe us.
And repeat offenders should be warned. You can not only lose your license, your car can be impounded too. At the Whitestone Bridge in the Bronx, I'm Marcia Kramer, CBS 2 News.
He said this is not the bike away. They completely disagree. I respect everybody's opinion. It's just a conversation that I brought up. How you still gonna feel big and bad when you're riding your Harley Davidson live wire with your little wallet with the chain attached, huh? Are you gonna still feel gangster like that? But all the other channels that talk about what's going on in the world only have the complaints. Let's talk about some of the solutions. I like to see a problem and troubleshoot it.
No, I got the solution. Don't comply. Don't fucking comply. You don't want to do it? Don't do it. I don't give a fuck how many guns they point at your head. Don't do it.
A new multi-agency task force has been formed to crack down on these ghost cars. More than 6 dozen vehicles were seized, hundreds of drivers given summonses. All this happened yesterday. Drivers often use fake plates to evade tolls, a problem that many fear will get only worse when congestion pricing begins in Manhattan. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon live at the RFK Bridge with our lead story tonight. Sonia.
Yeah, Bill, behind me are some of the cars that are left that were seized yesterday, that were taken off the road with this new task force on the job. This task force consists of city and state agencies, the NYPD, the Triborough Bridge and Tunnel Authority, the Port Authority, the New York City Sheriff, and others, all with an interest in making sure that people aren't driving ghost cars and in sending a message to the public not to think about it when congestion pricing hits.
We have been doing these operations locally for quite some time. Now we're joining a larger operation both on the state and city level.
In one sweep yesterday, the multi-agency operation here on the RFK Triborough Bridge and a couple of other locations issued nearly 300 summonses, made 8 arrests, and impounded 73 vehicles with phony or disguised plates. With congestion pricing on the way, the MTA is interested in making sure everyone's plates are legit and can be seen by the plate readers so that tolls are paid. But the NYPD is very interested in finding them too.
We're seeing the same photocopied fake plate used on different vehicles, fleeing the scenes of separate crimes.
Some of the most dangerous criminals in the city, they have various sets of plates in their vehicle, and they are changing them throughout the night. So this initiative is a proactive way of catching them.
Last year, obscured or phony plates cost the MTA $50 million. Today, in a show of cooperation, the heads of the city and state agencies looked at some of the vehicles just seized and called for legislation that would also allow them to seize some of the gadgets toll cheats use. For now, the agencies are putting their time and resources together to bust the owners of the untraceable ghost cars.
The Ghostbusters have arrived, right, Mayor? All right, you've seen what the Ghostbusters can do. We're going after the ghost vehicles because we're sick and tired of people taking advantage, and everybody else feels like a sucker because they're the ones paying the tolls like law-abiding citizens. Well, they're the ones who are going to get the last laugh.
And no, yeah, we ghosting, baby.
And if we're talking about Ghostbusters and if the public wants to report these plates, who are you going to call? Well, there is a way to do it on 311. You can go on the 311 app as well, but the cars have to be parked. It's actually under parking violations on the app. But the NYPD says they can immobilize those cars and they can tow them. And if law enforcement officers themselves are caught obscuring their plates on their own vehicles, the mayor and the commissioner insist they won't get away with it either.
Another First Amendment right would be the right to travel freely unencumbered. See, no state can require you to have a license to travel freely unencumbered, and we'll go into that and show you how that is taken care of, okay? The bottom line is you need to learn as much as you absolutely possibly can in the shortest possible time about your Constitution, because I'm telling you right now as we speak, they are trying to curtail that Constitution and take away rights that you have that have been given to you from your forefathers. There's only one thing that's going to stop that. Well, maybe two. There's two things. The first thing that's going to stop that, if all of us get together, get a hold of one of these books and start shaking it and say, whoa, Horsey, we're not letting you take away that Constitution. This is America. We got an American flag on that pole out front. Last time I checked, this is the United States of America. We got a Constitution here, and you ain't touching that Constitution.
No, yeah, we ghosting, baby. Millions of us. If we were all on the same page, how will we do it? How do we organize? I have a large platform. I can get the word out, but how do we do this? What's the first step? How do we communicate properly? I said before, I don't want to do anything in the dark. I want everything in the light, no RICOs. Everybody knows our intentions, no federal investigations, none of that type of stuff. What I'm proposing is bigger.
That the police, they don't have to get a license to carry a gun, and they're the ones carrying a gun every day and using them. And same with the cars. You know, who's more oppressive upon the roadways in their vehicles than the police. So, but they prefer to remain anonymous. You know, with homemade placards on there instead of enrolling in that. You know, that could be a pain in the ass. You know, going to the DMV. They don't want to do it, even though they're not the ones paying for it, and they would never get a ticket. They still won't do it. So why the hell should we? You know, we're not required to. Show me the law.
Then why people do that, I don't know for the life of me. But I digress. We pull all our money out of them, and then on top of that, we don't eat there. We put them out of business. This is the type of realistic power we have. If we discipline ourselves, we could be just as powerful. There's thousands of bikers. We got hundreds of thousands just on this channel alone. Is it time for us to organize, start to show up, start to show some force? What do you think? I'm just raising the question.
You know, the right to travel, I don't know why, you know, it's not really that fringe of an idea, you know. It's so well established, it's unbelievable. Right. You know, everywhere I look, I find more and more things in support of it.
Well, the warmer days are here, and just like clockwork, illegal ATVs and those daring dirt bike dragsters are back on the streets of Buffalo.
News 4's Patrick Ryan is getting answers about how City Hall and police are pumping the brakes on these illegal joyrides.
As summer approaches, more people are out and about, and for the city of Buffalo, that means illegal dirt bikes and ATVs are kicking into gear.
I'm not here to kill the party, I'm here to keep people safe.
Like April showers bringing May flowers, illegal four-wheelers bring major safety concerns.
They go in between in and out cars. People are driving fast, people are getting off of work, then it's the school buses, and it's a lot.
It's a problem that's been plaguing Buffalo's streets for years. Hordes of illegal ATVs and dirt bike drivers joyriding through the city. News 4 captured this video of vehicles driving on the Scajaquada Expressway earlier this month. One ATV driver making a detour, doing burnouts on the grass at an off-ramp.
There'll be small groups or big groups, they weave in and out, pull out. Sometimes you get nervous, you open your car door and they'll take your door off because you just don't see them coming,
Buffalo Common Councilman Mitch Nowakowski says the city is impounding more of these vehicles than ever before. He says while the Fillmore district saw a drop in dirt bikers, they've moved elsewhere in the city.
For a while it was hot in Seneca Babcock, and then it moved to the waterfront in the Erie Basin Marina because of the long thoroughfare that's there. But we've taken on proactive measures to be able to put up barriers and almost design it to be really hard for ATVs to come there.
Nowakowski says Buffalo police can't chase these illegal vehicles, so they're taking to the skies with drones to track them down. He says if residents see illegal ATVs, take down the make and model and call the city. Buffalo police are offering a cash reward for tips that lead those vehicles to the impound lot.
You're threatening the public safety for everybody.
Here again, here's your insurance industry going into the legislature, and they go through the hearings, and they never do this in the name of profits to protect the claims window of the insurance industry. They always do this in the name of health, safety, and welfare, police powers. We're doing this to protect you, Mr. John Q. Public, from those drunk drivers out there, those wicked, evil, terrible, awful people. Okay?
New incentive the city is offering to get these vehicles off the streets.
City leaders in Buffalo say illegal vehicles are taking over the streets.
We have received a number of complaints about the illegal operation of ATVs and dirt bikes in the city of Buffalo. The police are well aware of these complaints.
I think the opportunity presented itself due to COVID and the lack of traffic, and now we're just seeing a continuation of that.
Buffalo police say these vehicles pose a danger to the public.
There was a tragedy that just occurred this week in Rochester where 2 people were killed, a third seriously injured from the riding of these ATVs. So again, this is a serious issue. We have seen last year where some of the riders of these vehicles are using them to commit crimes. We had a person riding an illegal dirt bike who fired a handgun at a Buffalo police officer.
Buffalo police will offer up to a $100 reward for information that leads to the confiscation of an illegally used ATV or dirt bike. They say chasing these vehicles is just too dangerous.
They're not designed to be operated in a pursuit mode. So not only are you endangering the general public, you're endangering the rider of that vehicle. An ATV does not corner. It's not designed to be driven at high speeds, making sharp turns.
The legislature also increased the fine for driving an ATV or dirt bike illegally within the city. BPD says now someone can end up paying around $2,500 in fines. We have the number you can call with a tip about an illegal ATV or dirt bike riding around Buffalo at WKBW.com. Olivia Proya, 7 Eyewitness News.
Ran off the road, and then the last time I got followed home, beaten, robbed, and then came the fraud, and
yeah,
even pulling over, why the hell am I pulling over? What's the emergency? You know what I mean? Isn't pulling over is kind of submitting, and standing under the authority? Pulling over, you mean ran off the road?
Listen.
There are signs that the person you've encountered considers himself to be a sovereign citizen who is immune from the law. The first thing that any officer notices at a traffic stop is the vehicle's license plate. If you try to call in many sovereign plates, you'll find no record of them, and for good reason.
They're either homemade or professionally produced fakes. They may display the names of strange nations, embassies, or tribes. They may refer to the Uniform Commercial Code or the Constitution.
So I got a topic which might be of interest to people. So if you're not a biker or a new biker or just wondering, why do some bikers ride without their plate? You would think it would be self-explanatory, but maybe not quite. So I'll explain it. Why do some bikers ride with no plate? Well, when you are out doing extra legal activity, illegal activity, speeding, stunting, doing anything stupid, and there's a state patrol, and there's a cop who comes behind you, they may try to attempt to run, but it doesn't matter because the cop has their license plate and information. So he's got you. Or, which other people don't think about, which might not be so obvious, if there are other drivers on the road who are just want to hate on you, they're irritated that you cut them off, they see you stunting or pulling a wheelie, and they just want, it's usually people who are just got nothing else better to do with their life. Because I've been annoyed by people, but I let it go. Because once they're gone and out of my sight, I don't care anymore. But there are people, if they see you driving around reckless, they will take your license plate number down and they will call the cops. And they might not, the cops may not get you then, but the next time you're pulled over, the notes, they will have in their notes somewhere that you had a previous call on that bike for reckless driving. So maybe the cop was going to give you a break, but when he sees those notes come up after he pulls you over, he's like, oh, no. You've had this problem before, buddy. It makes it harder for you to say, oh, no, it's my first time doing it. Maybe you're lying. It's going to make it hard for you to lie because he has information down on you, that you have previous reports on you, that you have been driving recklessly and people have reported it. Now, if you take your plate off, that people cannot call on you. The best they can do is give you a bike description, but they can't call on you. If you're in a group ride and the police want to take down your license plate number, let's say something bad happens, something crazy happens, the group ride, and they got all kind of cameras around, they can't get your license plate because it's not in your bike. So these are the reasons why people take their plates off. So, yep, that's pretty much in a nutshell why people take their plates off. You know, they want to escape the law. Now, unfortunately, nowadays they have facial recognition that they're using. So they don't need your plate or any identification. They have cameras that can scan your face and they know who you are. So I suggest that you guys get reflective visors or darkened tinted visors so they can't see your face at all. It's getting crazy out here. But yeah, that's why people don't have their license plate on. And if you get caught without your license plate, but it's valid, you'll get a no plate ticket. I don't think you get any points for that. It's not a moving violation. Most guys say that it fell off, which really, cops might think you're lying, but that really is common on motorcycles, that our license plate fall off. It just happened to a buddy of mine. It happened to me a few times, and I had to go buy another plate. I don't know what is up with these. Well, because cars have hard metal screws that screw into the actual car for your license plate. These are rubber, and these bikes vibrate a lot, and they come off. So either way, whether it's true or not, you're most likely going to get a ticket, but it's not going to be any points. So a lot of guys just opt out for not wearing the plate at all. And I'm not saying it's right, but it does save a lot of guys' butts not having the plate because the officers have no information to take down. One guy I know almost got pulled over by a bike cop. I have no idea where I am right now. Almost got pulled over by a bike cop, and the bike cop would have took his information down, but he didn't have any information to take down. So, voila. And that, my friends, is why bikers do not have plates.
Thanks for staying with us this afternoon. I'm Derek Francis.
I'm Janice Allen. We're seeing it more and more out on the roads. People who are driving with no license plates on their vehicles.
Yeah, police say they're seeing it as well, and they're going to start pulling people over for it. Our Lauren Edwards joining us live after hearing from police and a concerned citizen about this very topic. Lauren?
Yeah, Derek and Janice, I don't know if you guys are seeing it, but I am just out and about, cars just with no license plates, and it is pretty startling. Police saying the same thing, too, that they're startled, but now when they see it, they're going to do something about it.
Just about a week or so ago, I saw 2 cars in the same day without a license plate and no registration paper at all in the back window.
Bob McNally drives about 500 miles a week for work throughout West Michigan, and lately he's been seeing this, people driving with no license plates.
Just this week, a couple more, and I was in Benton Harbor the other day, 2 days ago. Car went by, no license plate at all.
And it's happening here in the Grand Rapids area, like on Alpine.
In each and every case, it was an older model vehicle, like at least a 10-year-old sedan. But in all the cases, they were all like sedans, old cars.
And it's also going on downtown. Fox 17 stood at the intersection of Fulton and Division, and in 45 minutes got video of 11 people with no license plates and no note in their windows.
But we're past the point of it's okay to drive around without a license plate because of COVID. We're past that point. All registration, proof of insurance, all those offenses are back available to be enforced.
Sergeant Dan Adams with GRPD says they understand that the Secretary of State relaxed the rules a little bit during the pandemic last year, and it wasn't a necessity to get it done immediately.
But as we're getting vaccinated, moving into hopefully a recovery from COVID, we're going to be out there. The weather's getting nice. People are going to be out driving around, and we'll be out there enforcing those kinds of things.
Because he says if you get into an accident of any kind, the penalties could be much worse.
By this point, Secretary of State is available to do those things, and we'd recommend people get out and get those done.
And so Sergeant Adams, he also said that, if you get pulled over on these roads and you have an appointment scheduled, show the officer an email or some sort of documentation proving that that's actually going to happen. He says it could save you from some fines. Reporting live in Grand Rapids, Lauren Edwards, Fox 17 News.
You're under arrest. For what? You have a bench warrant and your bike is on everything. What? You have no plates on your bike. That thing's not even supposed to be on the road. And you're suspended. Ow!
Should motorcycle clubs and bikers start to take things in our own hands? In every state, there's thousands of bikers. We got hundreds of thousands. Over 700,000 subscribers on YouTube. 702 to be exact. Big shout to everybody out there. 700,000 bikers. No, 700,000 bikers and patriots. I truly appreciate you. And much respect to the people out there who've been taking action. A lot of us need to catch up. I see that 100%. That's what we need from the community. I want people to understand this is what it's about. Not the type of bike you ride. This is way bigger. This isn't about politics. This is a level above that. Thousands of bikers are ready to mobilize. Comment after comment. It's all the same. We need to stand now or we're going to lose our country.
3 years ago, the Providence City Council passed an ordinance allowing police to confiscate and destroy illegal recreation vehicles, and that includes ATVs, dirt bikes, and four-wheelers.
And today, Providence police and city officials gathered to destroy over 30 seized vehicles. 12 News reporter Chelsea Jones joins us now with what city officials are asking you to do.
Police want the community to use a new hotline that they've created to provide information about illegal off-road vehicles. They say they see time and time again the public safety issue that these vehicles bring, and they are working to put a stop to it.
Make no mistake about it. Riding these ATVs and dirt bikes, they're illegal, they're dangerous, and we're not going to tolerate them.
Providence officials say for years they've been battling the problems that recreational vehicles bring.
We've seen the group of 10, 20, 50 illegal street bikes operating in and around the city of Providence.
So the Providence City Council gave police the authority to take vehicles like these off the street and destroy them.
I worked with him very closely in the Providence Solicitor's Office to craft legislation that made a difference.
Thanks to a pursuit policy, Providence police can go after ATVs and dirt bikes, even those that aren't on the streets.
You don't just have to see one of these being ridden out in the streets, but many of these bikes, they're being kept in people's backyards.
But they are asking that you use the hotline at 401-680-8288 so no one else has to get hurt.
Many of these young men who ride these bikes have been critically hurt by crashing. Many have been fatally.
Councilwoman Ryan says there are about 50 more seized vehicles going through court processing right now, and over the last few years they've been able to get around 150 street bikes off the roads. In the control room, I'm Chelsea Jones, 12 News.
MCs breaks down what is a 1%er.
When the article came out, it shook America. Here are these veterans doing this rowdy behavior on their motorcycles, taking over the town. Lock up your houses, lock up your daughters. These veterans are here and they're going to raise hell. And the AMA, American Motorcycle Association, was so offended by the image of the motorcycle enthusiast being besmirched by these guys that they came out with an article after the Life magazine. They said this is only 1% of the motorcycle community, only 1% of the motorcycle enthusiasts. This is where the term 1%er originated.
This guy's acting in treason. So, I mean, my attitude is until America wakes up and we stretch a few necks, I know that sounds cold. We need to make government afraid of the people, because a government that's afraid of the people, you have freedom. A people that's afraid of their government, they have tyranny. So wake up, folks. We the people have to start holding their feet to the fire. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And you guys all heard, I'm sure we were talking about my license plates. My license plates are not license plates. They're the Gladstone flag that says, "Don't tread on me." I have not had a driver's license since 2001 when I let mine expire. Everybody says, well, you must get pulled over a lot. No, I don't. That's the reason why I drive exotic automobiles. Or, excuse me, travel in exotic automobiles. They're going, what does this guy know? And do I really want to cross him? And those that do, I ask them a simple question when I pull off, not off the side of the road, never pull off the side of the road, find a parking lot. And then roll your window down just an inch or two and ask a simple question, or I do. What part of "don't tread on me" did you not grasp?
We live in a melting pot experiment, this thing of ours, the United States of America. But back to the media, there are some brilliant people that have put out compilations of them saying the same punchline in every video at the same time. It's so crazy. If you watch it, it's gonna bug you out.
Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country. Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 The population has been zombified. You can put facts in front of people and they will still regurgitate the talking points. Why? Because they're zombies. The light is off. Nothing is going on in there. They're just regurgitating the programming. He's a conspiracy theorist. That's another thing. Close your mind. It's a conspiracy theory. So you can't think. It's propaganda. Yeah, he's over the top, but he's been right. They tell you you have freedom of speech, but once you think a thought for yourself and say it out loud, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Just hoping that you cave in the face of them threats and volunteer. Because if you don't, it's pretty clear that they committed crimes against you, And there's another example too. They don't call it crimes; they call it police misconduct. No, that's a fucking crime. That's a crime. Just because he's wearing a costume, it's misconduct. But if you or I did the same thing, it'd be a felony crime.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't even mention them. It's disgusting. That's how you treat people that had your back. There's no honor on the right or left. We need a wake-up call, and don't get me twisted. There's great people on both sides that have been pitted against each other by the establishment for so many years. It's not even funny. Tomorrow, they could divide everybody if they want to, because no one thinks. They live in echo chambers and follow the leader. Someone has to say it. When are you going to stop letting them divide us? Wake up. Even the left and right stuff, wake up. It's a division tactic. Tomorrow, they could put out a news clip of a fight, any random fight, and say a white guy hated a black guy, and the idiots will go on their separate sides and berate each other. So low IQ. While the elites laugh and look at these dummies like they don't deserve freedom. They're too low IQ. They need us. What are they going to do without us?
Mommy, buy me a license plate. No, come along, Bort.
All right, so today we got us another motorcycle plate flipper from the nigga fluff bike. Alright, here's the setup. Pretty much it looks pretty normal. There we go. Got him. That's simple. Got some little piece with a light on there, something. It's optional. Flip down. And that's for D-Rock. Want to talk mad shit, talking about, what are you doing? You get off the bike? No, motherfucker. Stay on the bike, flip black. Flip it back. Simple as that. Huh?
Oh, look at the flick of the plate. The plate.
Kill him. There you go. All right.
I feel like I'm in a twilight zone. Like one day the government is going to say this was a huge thought experiment and we wanted to see how much of the population is lemmings. Because people really literally are lemmings out here. I feel like a friend of someone who just got shot and you're like, wake up, wake up. Don't go to sleep. You won't wake back up.
Take a South Philly drive, and the closer you look at the cars on the street, you'll notice some seem a bit naked. Like this CRV, no license plate, and the VIN number conveniently blocked by a piece of paper.
We've seen an uptick in cars that are just straight up removing their plate.
Josh Schulman runs the Lower Moyamensing Civic Association. He tracks so-called ghost cars in his neighborhood.
It's sort of madness.
Like this utility truck and this Lincoln Town Car with no plate except for the one in the windshield obscured by an American flag.
If you cover your tag, like what are you hiding? And B, there's no recourse there?
Some of them pretty brazen as well. This SUV parked overnight in a no parking zone, and on the back here of the Infiniti, no license plate, and they've got stickies here to make it easier to take the plate on and off. You'll see it driving too, cars with takeout menus covering up, others just bearing it all, or with dark, heavy tints. You could call it a Philly thing, but it's happening up and down I-95. Fake temporary tags also increasing, linked to criminal activity. In New York City, some drivers using high-tech plate covers, where 7% of red light camera tickets come back unreadable.
By altering your license plate, the digital technology that's reading your plate and assessing the toll is being avoided. There's people who are doing these things to avoid any type of financial cost.
In PA, the Turnpike says less than 1% of transactions are unreadable, with no significant impact to revenue. And for its part, Philadelphia Parking tells us that cars with no license plate where the VIN has been covered will be ticketed and towed.
Unless it's blocking a crosswalk, they're not willing to really come out and do anything about it.
Neighbors say enforcement is spotty at best, and bottom line, covering, altering, or removing your license plate is illegal.
And this feeling that laws don't apply to people, that's a big problem.
In South Philadelphia, Randy Gyllenhaal, NBC 10 News.
Citizen of the free world or of North America. They try to say that they are a free traveler upon North America, and they try to use they try to use the old federal codes to bypass the laws, needing registration, insurance, and licenses, and all that nonsense. But every single time when they go in and they fight this in court, they lose. It's been denied every single court case, all the way up to the Supreme Court. And, we still have 2 or 3 in our area that try to claim that.
You better stop mother down yourself. Let these poor ass motherfuckers make you feel like you ain't the mother. Like you ain't got no mother. You is the mother motion.
Peruse any parking lot in Suffolk County and you'll likely find a bumper crop of license plate violations. Missing plates, characters painted over or scratched off, others hidden by tinted plexiglass. This driver doesn't hide the reason.
You can't do anything, you can't go anywhere, and everything you got to pay a fine for.
Dark tinted or curved covers make them impossible to read, yet they're overtly sold in stores and online, marketed as the antidote to red light cameras. But they also make it impossible for the public to identify a hit and run or reckless driver.
People are trying to get away with it. Sure, I see that. That's not right.
Crashes caused by these cars, say police, drive up insurance rates.
Chances are that car is not registered, not insured, so now you, as the proper citizen, you now take the hit of that and your insurance premiums go up.
It's prompting New York State and Suffolk police to crack down. Come April 1st, for 2 weeks, they'll be on the prowl for license plate alterations. They say they're protecting their investment in license plate readers, which are needed to fight gangs and other crime.
All that technology and automation will be defeated by people who intentionally alter or cover their New York State license plates.
Violators could face misdemeanors, even felonies. Cops say no excuses. Why don't you have a license plate?
To be honest, laziness. I have it in the back. By law, you only need one.
Actually, you need 2.
New York State law bans anything placed over a vehicle's license plate or including only having 1 license plate.
Police say these covers have no legitimate purpose, that they're only intended to violate the law, evade law enforcement, and leave other folks on the road with no way of identifying reckless drivers. In Suffolk County, Long Island, Carolyn Gussoff, CBS 2 News.
New York State, New Jersey.
We need your brilliant minds to open up. We need to start talking and having these conversations, a collective consciousness, the storm. Pay attention to the food you're eating, because I think that's what it is. People are so, drinking soda and Dr. Pepper and eating McDonald's. Your body is not strong enough to think free thoughts. They are poisoning you and putting you in a zombie state. They have used our phones to turn us into cyborgs, but the God storm is here to use their system against them, to unify. Let's brainstorm and, more importantly, show up to events. Keep your eyes open. I don't know, man. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you. But hey, I guess they'll just call me a conspiracy theorist. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with being one of the people with my eyes open and my ears open. I go with my gut. I go with my gut. I love you guys. We ghosting, baby.
Man, you know, they were like the elite. The elite. They were like SEAL Team 6, man. You know?
And no, yeah, we ghosting, baby.